also want everyone to know that I get hammered with communications. I'm only one guy. I'm trying to do all I can, and you have to know that the fight for me, I'm already on the battlefield, right? So when people are emailing me and they've got, problems with their children going back to school and this and that, believe me, my heart breaks for you, but you have to understand the simplicity of all this. I didn't create this website for people not to understand what's going on or who they are. You have to go there and you got to spend a little bit of time. People are always looking for these templates to be given to them, to write, to put things up. Well, I've got notices there, but you have to understand, and I'm going to show you a wonderful document here this evening that was sent to me. Not a document, but it's on a website here, removal of consent to be governed. And it's a wonderful, again, this man, whoever wrote this, it's beautifully written. And it's very simple. Because ultimately we have running in this world are these service corporations, Canada, Ontario, the United States, right, Australia. These are all service corporations, no different than McDonald's or Tim Hortons. People that work at the service corporation, whatever grand title they give them, right, like Prime Minister or President or the Attorney General, ooh, they're just simply designations, they're titles for that man or woman in the role for that service corporation. Are you going to be fearful of the CEO of McDonald's? No. You're going to be fearful of the man that's top of their legal department of McDonald's? No. Unless you've obviously caused wrong or harm to that corporation, its property, or any of its members or its staff, right, that are working on their facilities. That's the only way that you would ever interact with those people. And the same applies, believe it or not, with the service corporation like we have here called Canada, or the service corporation we call Ontario. It's very simple when you understand this. And the reason that we're in this predicament that we're in today in this world is because this foundational truth we've never had this conversation simply with one another. It should have been passed down from your grandparents to your mother and father and their parents before them, and then from them to you. But we've never had this simple conversation of understanding the difference between legal and lawful, and that people work for service corporations. They are our public servants, right in the hierarchy. That's what Canada is. It's a service corporation. And all of these agents and officers, nothing that they put pen to paper applies to we the people. Service corporations do not write law. Remember that. See how simple that is? You don't need a law degree. And again, whose law are we talking about? Those are the three words I always teach: property, trespass, and who. So anytime you're having any type of paperwork put in front of you, if you're being given a ticket, right, you always accept these things conditionally upon that there's a contract that's obviously foundational to why this documentation has been given to you, or there's a contract that you're in breach of, or there's a verified claim from a man or woman that you have trespassed against them, causing wrong or harm. Full stop. That is the only way that any of us are ever supposed to be in these public courthouses, that we've caused wrong or harm to our fellow man or woman, or that we're in breach of a contract. Now, everybody take a step back and think about the simplicity of that. That is what the law of our world, of our lands are. And yet, we have a service corporation now called Canada or Ontario, or wherever you may live, your state, your provincial territory, and they wrote these things called codes, rules, and statutes. And this is what other service corporations called police are trained, indoctrinated into, and they are not told a foundational truth, the difference between legal and lawful. Legal applies to that which is incorporated. All of you know by now, legal is that legal person that's created by the service corporation when you're born. Moments old in a crib lying there, right? A few weeks later, this birth certificate comes to your house. And you've been led to believe from that day forward that represents you. But it's not. It's no different than McDonald's sending you a birth certificate and saying, hey, if you ever wish to use our services for your benefit and privileges, you have to operate through that documentation. Everybody can simply understand that. Like going to a gym. I've got a gym membership. When I go into the gym, I've got rules and obligations I've got to follow here in the gym. They've got rules in there that I can't go outside of. But when you step outside of that gym, imagine if the owner of the gym or the security of that gym comes up to you or pulls you over on the highway or on the side road or saying, hey, you were speeding. You're like, Bob, you're from the gym. What the hell are you doing? Well, you breached our policy here of the gym policy. All of our members, they're not allowed to speed on the public roads. And you'd be like, huh? Are you for real? Give me a break.